Hello, this evening. This is Kev, and this is Black Man Being Brutally Honest. And welcome to another Friday night edition of this show. How y'all doing tonight? I know some of you are out, but if you are tuning in, thank you. And I'll and yeah, let's get this thing started. Okay. I came across this. I had this thought today. This is a circular argument, not only in this space of YouTube, but it seems to be in social media. Period. And it's always this thing about child support, this child support that, um, and I do agree with some of the notions that are put out there. Um, if you can, you need to do everything out there to take preventative measures so you won't end up in a situation that has you paying child support. I mean, with all the knowledge and all the preventative measures that you have, then shit. It's like this in 2020, if you get a woman pregnant with no intention of marrying her, you deserve everything you get. But at the same time, I mean, it seems like there's a lot of these women are being allowed to drop baby after baby after baby, and she's able to collect checks for each one of those kids. So it does seem in such a way that is manipulative, and it seems like it is counterproductive to not only parenthood but to the black community itself, whether people agree or disagree. Now, a lot of people will say something as such as child support is for the child. I mean, I do agree with that, and I realize that both parents involved would realize that as well. I mean, if you're a man, I mean, sorry, but you should have strapped up. If you're a woman, you knew what the fuck you were doing. I mean, this is 2000, like it says 2020. You knew what you were doing in 2010. You knew you were doing in 2000. You knew what you were doing in 1990. But here's the thing. I'm not going to defend the whole child support thing. Really, here's what I understand. It started out as something for married women, meaning that if a woman got married, had a child or children, and something happened between her and her husband, and basically the understanding is he's the breadwinner. So if they divorce, he has to pay some child support. Pay for what he helped create it. It is not until in recent memory that courtesy was extended to just about any woman who had children. Basically to I would say the motivation was probably to slow down these guys from getting these girls pregnant on the random and leaving. But it just became rampant. It seemed like that child support became goals for some of these women out here. But anyway, let me stop for a moment and give a shout out to my habitual line stepper crew. First off, long live the habitual line steppers. Shout out to Roger, Donnie, Sister George, and Dark Skater 7. I hope you guys are doing great wherever you are. And, we will run across each other again here very shortly, you know, in these YouTube streets. So, let me all right. So when I say stuff like child support didn't raise me, maybe I wasn't completely honest. Yeah, I did have a form of child support, and it is about the right kind of child support. Yeah, I was raised in a two-parent home. Yeah, that's about the best child support you get, a mother and a father. Yeah, yeah. When you say child support is for the child, like, understand this: a two-parent home and a nuclear family is ultimate child support. I mean, that's child support you can't beat. And I was lucky to have that kind of support growing up. I mean, unfortunately, not every child can get that kind of support. But I think as a community, that is something that I feel that we need to be fighting for. I mean, we are starting to accept lifestyles that have been detrimental to the community, and we need people out here who are not afraid to talk about such things. Mm, yeah. So, how many of y'all had that kind of child support? True child support. You had both parents, and I mean, like, and honestly, before we get to the heart of the subject matter, what person is going to come forward and admit they were raised on child support? If you look at the title of this broadcast, it's like, what point? Like, yeah, my mama, she worked on two jobs and everything, but if it wasn't for that child support, I'd be in a bad place. I never hear anyone saying that. I hear all the arguments being made for child support, but I never hear anyone saying this shit. I mean, what about you? It's like, man, that child support show came in handy. I remember I was about 9 years old, and I had holes in my sneakers. And then, my mom, she just sitting up there with her head in her hand, and that check came through. Then we went to Payless, and we got some new sneakers. Like, how many times have you heard people say that? It's like, no. What I don't hear in these circular arguments is the benefits of child support. It seems like when child support, whatever child support is brought up, it's used as a thing to beat guys over the head with. And I guess for those who are on child support, that ish ain't funny. I mean, it's not my problem. See, because I wasn't raised on, I mean, I was raised on true child support, which was my two-parent home, which, my parents are still together today. They raised four wonderful children. And shoot, we're pretty okay now. I mean, we're not perfect. They're not perfect. But I mean, how different things would have been for me if I was raised on a mother who had to wait on a check from a guy that did not want to be there. You know, I think about that. I think about that kind of thing. I think about how it would be if we push for those values again. Yeah, we push we decide instead of the court systems and instead of Western society, because as a people, I don't feel like their actions and the what Western society has done does not serve our best interests, especially for our families. And that is something that I will continue to advocate for, because for what I could see, nuclear family, especially in neighborhoods, and and whether you believe in God or not, in your local churches, and it used to be at one point townships. Townships were black families. I'm for all of that. I'm for all of that. We want less government. You say you want less government, and child support, and mandates are government based. They're government sanctioned. And shout out to the Roger Report Live. Long live the habitual line steppers. Yeah, and I mean, just what I'm just saying is this is like, we all ought to be able to, as a community, shoot for some true child support. Let's start setting standards, so we won't have this bullshit divisiveness. Because hey, you know what? Every time this conversation comes up, it causes conflict within our community, amongst our ranks, and it's not funny. It really is. It's not funny. But we're drawn to drama like flies to poop. I mean, it's just keeping it real. Yeah. Well, anyway, moving right along. Hmm. All right. Child support goes. Cause cause see, that's what it seems like. So, child support goes. Like, remember when I was explaining like how how nobody really is going to tell you how great they were raised on child support. Like, just getting that check, getting that money, making that change, shaking that change in your hand, rolling like dice. Yeah, you got it now. Boom. Daddy needs some new shit. No, mommy needs. I don't know. I hope y'all get the picture. Yeah, child support goals sounds pretty ridiculous. But I mean, according to hood rat culture and some of the things I witnessed and observed growing up, this is not a recent problem. It seemed like a lot of these girls have child support goals. Yeah, we have a growing number of women that don't. That every okay. Every time I run across a social media post, you have this growing sentiment of women saying that they want children, but they don't want marriage. Which I mean, that is fine. But when I started doing stuff like suggesting that, hey, you know what, there are sperm banks, you know, you can take this responsibility upon yourself. You go to a sperm bank, you can make sure it's an African American donor if you're worried about the baby being black, and you can have a kid that way. No, they want to have sex with a guy, get pregnant, and slap him on child support. Now I know that sounds very basic and very egregious, but I don't put anything past women who just want to take full advantage of their privilege. You know, yeah, I complain against privilege when you say it's black male privilege, but there is such thing as female privilege. If you think if if you think I'm playing shit, answer this question: do men have any reproductive rights? Do we have the right to give up on a baby? When quote unquote unplanned pregnancy happens, do we have that? No, we don't. No, we don't. Things are unfair, but at the same time, we as men, when we know we're in this situation, we can't whine about it. Hell, first time I laid eyes on my daughter, there was no way in the world you would ever get me away. Period. I don't commend irresponsible men. I do not cape for fuck boys. I don't. I don't. I don't care about deadbeat parents, deadbeat dads, especially because they make me ashamed. I mean, I don't relate to deadbeat dads. Period. I don't. I mean, you can't complain about child support. Even though men have no reproductive rights, if you get yourself in the current situation that you're in, like for the current situation, for the way the laws are set up, if you get yourself in a situation, you're just stupid at that point. You know, I knew, I knew from jump that I never wanted to. I wanted if I were going to have a child, I wanted my baby mama to be my wife too. You know what I'm saying? Because it'll be a family. The child will have both parents. And, we're a team. Me and my wife are a team. I feel like that is a better setup than to have a broken home. I mean, I would have to pay child support, of course, if that were the case. And hopefully things are kind of okay between me and the mother of my child. Because I've seen too many situations go wrong. And I never want to be a part of it. I never want to be a part of it. I always want to be a part of a situation that was more efficient, that worked. Yeah. So it's just a bunch of stress, like I said, especially, not only do your government control the narratives, they basically control who you are. And I know controls is a strong word. It's how you think and how you approach raising children. Because if you don't, it seems like, and it seems this way, if you, the father, don't raise your child, the government will. Because any woman that allows that to happen to herself will relinquish her control, and it will never be best what's best for the child. It'll never be. And in Western culture, we are very reluctant to blame the female. So as men, we have to do what we have to do until there is some tangible change, to keep from being, to keep from, you know, some of these sack chasers out here meeting their child support goals. Period. That's something you don't want. Okay. All right. So, speaking of child support goals, let me see. Let me see. I didn't even make that better. But let me just put it like this. Let me just put it like this. I could just talk about it. Yeah, because I'm just kind of child support. Is child support a broke baby mama's hustle? Is it a hustle? Does it get used as a hustle? Does it does it is it something that is abused? Is it a system that is being abused? You know, and many men, especially the ones on child support, think that it is a system that is being abused, which is why more so that men need to, if let me put it to you like this. Let me put it to you like this, and I tell women this a lot too, and I do receive quite a bit of pushback from women, and I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't receive as much pushback from men. I don't, and I say it just like this: if you and the person you're having sex with is having unprotected sex, you need to be prepared for what comes afterwards. Period. Three things could happen. Either you could be either you could get a package delivered that you didn't order, but you're gonna have to accept it anyway, no matter what. And a quote unquote unplanned pregnancy. But if you are having unprotected sex, that means that you are planning for the possibility of a pregnancy if you're a person with any kind of applicable knowledge. Or the third possibility, you could just come out unscathed, lucky. You know, it's kind of like you just sex you unprotected sex without the guilt. What are you getting out of it? Unplanned pregnancy, which I don't know. I think unplanned is very stupid when it comes to pregnancy, and or an STD. You'll be lucky to get number three. It's just like it's like getting into a party for free and then leaving with like two chicks. It's where such luck happens. But I talk about stuff like this because I just want people to be responsible. And from life experience, I spent a little time having unprotected sex with a woman, years and years ago. Yeah, it was great. It was fun. It felt awesome, but she did get pregnant, and there was no STD. So I got the third. Not everyone can be that lucky. Period. I was that lucky. Thank God, because it was like we're not perfect human beings. I'm not gonna come up here and act like I'm perfect. I'm not gonna come up here and act like I'm self-righteous and I can just tell people what to do and how to operate in their life. But I can tell you what's smart and what's stupid. You know, when I did that, was it the smartest thing in the world? No, it wasn't. It wasn't at all. Hell, based on the kind of chick that was, would I have wanted a baby with that person? No, not at all. And I'm so happy that it didn't happen with that particular person. You know why? Because I probably would have been slapped on child support. Shoot, men can't opt out of child support. Shoot, yeah. I drink Miller Lite, by the way. So yeah. So I mean, it's like this. Let me put it to you like this. Since I said that child support was a broke baby mama's hustle, should men have reproductive rights? If if equality is something that some women's groups and feminism is fighting for, wouldn't they fight for men's reproductive rights because that is equality? But we know, women's activist groups, most of them in feminism isn't about equality. It's about dominance, maintaining privilege, and then asking for even more privilege in that. In other words, white female supremacy. I said in the video that I uploaded today about the MCU's Mark Ruffalo is, he tweeted something in defense of Kamala Harris after watching the vice presidential debate. And in the tweet, he used the three words white male supremacy. And I was like, no, he need is. Well, then I was saying, like, okay, if you're going to say white male supremacy and disregard white female supremacy, then then I put those three words together: white female supremacy. Oh, that ain't nothing but feminism. That ain't nothing but feminism. And part of the reason, why men do not have any reproductive rights is because that's a lot of what feminists fought for. For that systemic change in a way that is not beneficial to men. So, thus, furthering the point that men need to be more careful when it comes to when it comes to matters of the loin. I would say is like I said, practice preventative measures when you're having sex and you're a single man with nothing but the sky as the limit. Excuse me, because when a child becomes involved, if you're any kind of grown up, if you're any kind of man, if you're any kind of adult, your limits have to be spent on that child. If you're looking up to the sky, if that doesn't involve your child, then you need to stop looking at the sky and you need to look at your child. And you need to decide, whether child support is involved or not, whether it's your broke baby mama's hustle, that you as a man must make that child, boy or girl, your number one priority. That's the meaning of fatherhood right there. A lot, and then I don't want to get into a lot of people in this space. I just like a lot of people in this community really take fatherhood for granted. And one of the reasons is because of the child support bullshit. I mean, damn, I would place fatherhood over child support any day. Fatherhood is child support. It's like I said earlier, it's true child support. It's not. It's not something superficial. It's not something that is material. It's something that is priceless. And once you and what and men, here you go. Once you stick your penis inside the vagina of a female and you shoot her club up, I hope that you were thinking about becoming a father. I mean, first of all, if nothing illegal is going on, if you shoot a woman's club up, that means she allows you to do it. It means she allows you to do it. Because if they are smart as they say they are, I mean, they would have checked penis for a condom. They would have asked you if you had a condom, which means that if she lets you shoot up in her like that, that means that she wanted to get pregnant too. Mm. So above all this little child support stuff, the child has to mean something. At the end of the day, while y'all having all these little circular arguments, these little bullshit defenses for child support, shoot, the well-being of the child should be top priority. There are some children that don't have to want for anything, but still they don't have that positive impact that a present level-headed parent has. Some kids have nothing and have the best parenting in the world. They become successful, and then they come back and take care of their families. You know, I don't feel like that there's any amount of child support that can replace that. Period. So now, this is the one right here that perplexes me the most. Right there. It's like, when I hear a human being talk about, just start to berate me and because they feel some kind of way. I feel like if a man doesn't like child support, at least give him that courtesy and let him feel what the fuck he wants to feel about child support. Because and it's for one and it is for one particular reason. Men have no reproductive rights. So really honestly, what do you care if they think negatively of child support? I mean, it's stupid. It's stupid to feel that way. If you got yourself in a situation that you could have very well prevented. But, I'm not a real fan of child support anyway. I'm not empathetic to that. I mean, I can't stand when a woman says that, oh my God, I need this, I need this to happen. And I don't know what to do otherwise. When, I think what you could have did was you could have just said no, because you had a choice in this situation as well. It was a choice made by two people, period. So, all these little people, these little interlopers that sit up here and crusade for something like is why are you crusading for child support? Why are you not crusading for putting families together? Because you got a bunch of women around here, like actually they're finding more and more ways to not need men, even if a child is involved. A child needs a mother and a father. I'm never ever going to criticize that. I'm never ever going to crusade against that. Phew, it just kind of racks my nerves a bit when a child is raised by a baby mama instead of a wife. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If that paints a picture for you, it really kills me, and I do feel like, and I do feel like that. It's just that when you crusade for stuff like that, and you don't crusade for the nuclear family, then really we're not on the same side. You know, it's like I don't know, childish teasing. It's like pointing the finger and it's like me, you're on child support. Yeah. But it's like this. I'm not very empathetic because I'm not in a situation like I've had a relative or two that have been slapped on child support, and whatever happened with them happened. I am, I'm not an advocate for child support, but I'm also an advocate for common goddamn sense. If you're in a no choice situation, which is, you are at the scrutiny of the laws of wherever you live, then you do whatever you can to prepare yourself for the best case scenario. Mm. And women know what the fuck they're doing too. I don't know why we get into this thing that we call ourselves protecting women. And you know what? If you want to really protect someone, you'll tell their asses the truth. And the truth is, if you really are, if you really are sit up there and supporting the notion of actual child support and its principle, then you need your head checked. I don't think you were for this community's betterment if you're going to support some shit like that. Oh man, yeah. So let's get to the title of the video. Child support didn't raise me. All right. I said that because I said that because I might be suffering from lack of empathy for, you know, uh, because of the aforementioned. Like I said, I've had a couple of relatives that had child support slapped on them, but my dad never had to pay child support because he just simply, married. He was married to my mother, and he paid all the bills and he took care of his kids. You know, I'm not on child support because I'm married and our kid is living. So it's like this. So I see it as something. I see it as something that is highly preventable. I do. I see child support is something that is highly preventable. But you know what? At the same time, I do not advocate for it. I would not go to spaces in circles and shout and bitch at people because they're upset about child support. And it's because I say it because men have no reproductive rights. Men should be allowed to vent about this shit. Like, it's unfair. It really is. Life isn't fair though. I'm a big advocate for that. You know, life ain't fair. With especially being a black man in Western culture, when life ain't fair, don't do stupid shit. I mean, you should hear that coming from a black person. You should not hear that coming from any other race. You know, because I do remember feminists saying shit. Some feminists said some shit like that. Black men know, well, this situation they're in. If they're gonna do something, they're just kind of stupid. It's fucking. It's like I said, I don't give a damn. I don't care what other races think. So it does kind of piss me off a little bit when I do try to tell my people something, and then they tell me is like, you black, you saying stuff that is against black people. I mean, it's like, okay. In order for me to say something that is against black people, that means that I am making a glaring assumption. It does, it doesn't mean that I'm talking about something that already happened. You can't say something against something, and it's a fact that can be backed by an actual occurrence. Y'all like to call that kind of thing self hate, and we as a people, we got to get out of all these stupid straw man arguments. It really does make us look silly. It makes us look like the damn peanut gallery, actually. Shoot. But why would y'all think that men wouldn't have a right to vent about this kind of thing? Being fucked over. Remember what I said. This was only something that was for married women at first. Married women who had children, child support. And the only reason why they are making it so easy for women to get child support these days, and because they want to, because they want these women to continue to have babies. Babies they're not raising, babies without the father in the home, babies that prep up to put in their little prison industrial complex. Because if you have a bunch of kids that don't give a shit, they're gonna do things that are gonna get them in trouble, and then they're gonna have all this unfair sentencing, which is really the reason why we need to pay attention to who we vote for locally instead of these presidential elections, because presidential elections on a national scale, like for real, that's just symbolism. That's just symbolism. You want change at the local level. Do I advocate? Do I want them to increase? Do I want them to tighten up on child support? No, not at all. Do I want them to increase? I mean, do I want it? Do I want to see brothers slapping on child support for making babies and stuff? No, I don't. Do I want to see children supported? Yeah. Do I want there to be something for those kids? Yes, of course I do. I don't think the kids should be left out to dry. But that's why I feel like that we need to we need to set some standards. We need to reinstitute some of these family values. I know it's tough. I know that it's hard I know it's hard to get in line with some of this stuff because we really are people that are in trouble. But it really isn't that hard because, if it's one thing I learned is that people do what they want to do, what they really want to do. Hmm. All right. Just all right. Well, let me see. Yeah, I wonder if anyone out there, like for real, what would be interesting to me is to talk to someone who actually was raised on child support, who wasn't afraid to admit it. I wouldn't belittle them and I wouldn't disrespect them. I would just be like, well, what was it like? How difficult it was at times if he didn't pay, you know. But I'll tell you one thing though. Well, not many people put emphasis on this, but there are just as many women on child support that there are men. I mean, you can verify that with a Google search. The problem with the women though is that it seems like that there's an air of entitlement on the side of the women. That's why there are just as many deadbeats because a lot of women don't want to, I don't know. I guess they don't feel like that they're the ones that should be paying child support. I'm just saying, if you want, I mean, like I said, it's an easy Google search. There is a such thing called a deadbeat mom. Hmm. And there is some instances where the guy receives full custody, and I'll have this talking point to where I will say that it does seem like that the kid is better off with the dad than with the mother. But due to this recent story that happened in Las Vegas, wow, it really put a frown on that. Yeah, I dropped a video a couple days ago. It was this young man by the age of 27 named Sidney Deal. A lot of people believe that at first that he didn't want to, he cared more about his car than the life of his daughter. So he didn't want anyone busting the windows out. And I thought that was kind of fishy that he kept stopping people from busting the window, um, and acted like he was overly concerned about the child. What I think from all the facts that I gathered, and you can feel free to watch that video on my channel. Um, yeah, I mean, just go looking on my channel. And like I said, I dropped it a couple days ago. It seemed to me that the reason why he was stopping everyone from bursting that window out is because the child probably was already dead. He probably staged a whole "I accidentally locked my keys in my car" thing, just to seem like that he was more negligent. I mean, he was extremely negligent, but he tried to probably make it seem more like an accident. Now there are stories and reports coming out that it seems as if the baby was asphyxiated for a number of hours, which is what I figured when his stupid mother, and I'm sorry to, you have to really, you really gamble with, talking about a black mom, seriously, but really honestly, go check out my video. You would shake your head listening to her talk. You would shake her head listening to her talk. The one thing she gave away was he went back to the house to get his cell phone. And then he tried to act like that he had locked the baby in the car. Now, they was talking about the police was over there for like 30 to 40 minutes. Now, if the AC was on in the car and like granted the baby was still alive, that 30, 45 minutes was not enough time to kill that child. If the child had some AC born. Now, what the idiot did was he got so wrapped up in what his girlfriend wanted to do that he left his baby in the car. I guess they went in. I guess he went in. They did whatever they had to do, and the baby was left in the car and died that way. And then he tried to sit up there and act like that. He accidentally did it. No, dude, you just were negligent and forgot your kid. But he had full custody. Yeah. Sucks that that little baby had to have a father like that. Seriously. But yeah, he's been charged with child neglect, or what do they call it? Child neglect with substantial bodily harm. I would call it murder. If there's no way, there's no way I would have ever, and I'm completely confident that I would have ever left my child in a car or left my child unattended. I don't care what's going on the other side. Nothing's that important. And then even with that, the whole busting out the windows logic. People should have noticed something funny when he didn't bust the windows out himself. In any sense, even if something was already wrong with the child, I would have bust all the windows out. But the situation, the situation wasn't what he was trying to make it appear to be. You know, and I feel like that an investigation is going to reveal that. Okay, also about my video with Sydney Deal is about 30 minutes long. I'll try to condense the news stories a little bit better, but I found so much stuff that, you know, I had to put it all in one video. So, but for everyone's information who's watching this broadcast, Sydney Deal's court reappearance date is December the 3rd. So I will definitely give an update around that time. All right. Well, anyway, I think that I am about done, but no, I'll just go for a few minutes. Yeah, just talk about true parenting, true child support, parental guidance and suggestions. Yeah, because you know, okay, we as a community, we should redefine child support. You know? We should redefine child support. We know what it means by law. We know what it means when we say it in these conversations. That basically it is a payment for making a child. Like if a man makes a child, he's taxed. You know, if he has no intention of sticking around and actually being a father. But you know, the whole sticking around thing, like when you stick around, you have to stick around for two people. You know, you have to stick around for the child, or you have to stick around for the mother. And if you just want a relationship with the child, guess what? You're gonna have to pay for it. Yo,
What's going on, brother man?
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, I'll should I guess we'll go ahead. Can you mute that?
I meant to pop in, but I had some house guests. They still here, so I went to unexpected guests. The in-laws pop by. But man, so what do you want the conversation? Did you cover on it?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I have some people in the I can still hear my phone back.
You hear people. All right. I have to come back. My bad.
Okay.
My bad.
You know that was Danny. Oh, I had some comments going. Okay. Shout out to Mike Easy, LaShawn Jefferson, Cortez Smith, and my habitual line stepper brother Donnie, who will be back in a moment. I'm doing like I do you back in the day. Yeah. Jeez. All right, just one moment, people. Just one moment. Let me check something real quick. All right. Well, anyway, let me take a moment to thank all my recent subscribers, all of my new subscribers, and just keep watching. We got some good things going around here. So, yeah, let me respond to some of these comments that came from people who are obviously not watching this broadcast anymore. Okay, Mike Easy, my stance is on this is iffy. And he says, I will say child support can lead to suicide because men make up 70% of suicides. In general, from in general comes from becoming in debt and crippled by the women who won't let them see their kids. Wow. Damn, that is really something to think about. Well, what a great point. And, this is very reflective of the audience that participates in this YouTube channel. We have a very intelligent bunch of people. And I do commend you guys for that. So when I talk about support, that's exactly what I mean. Intelligent observations. Yes. And Cortez Smith agreed with Mike. So thank you, Michael. And Donnie said, man, fuck child support. And we need a part 2. Oh, okay. Donnie must be having those technical difficulties. I mean, but we'll get it together. But part 2. Well, shoot, we are a network of habitual line steppers. So yeah, I will do a part 2 to this one. To get others' perspectives on this one and make it a fun conversation. By the way. Okay, so is there anything else for me to say? Really, honestly, like I said, this conversation is kind of funny because it's like someone who's never had to experience child support. I mean, I've seen other people do it. They're talking about child support. The reason why one of the reasons why I decided to make this broadcast like this is because I see a lot of the complaints of child support, and I often wonder why is it that we can't make better decisions so child support will not become an issue. I think that if it's something that's beneficial, that's great. But if it's something that has seemed to do more damage than good, then maybe we need to try it another way. Maybe we do. But anyway, just want to give y'all a few things to think about tonight. And this Friday show, which if I could ever besides me being a habitual line stepper, is like I'm also habitually and always fashionably late. And it seems to me that my R is the one that intends it because it's like no matter what happens, it's always going to be around the same time. So I should set a 10 o'clock time, but I want to get more into prime time. That is considerate to the audience, especially on a night like Friday. So yeah, so I'm probably gonna close this broadcast out right now. And anyway, let me go ahead and close this out with what Donnie said. and he said, "Man, fuck child support." And I'm going to, before I, when in closing this broadcast out, I will say this much: I do support the notion of fuck child support because men do, like I said, men do not have reproductive rights and should be allowed to vent. So anyway, this is Kev. This is Black Men Being Brutally Honest. If you haven't, go below the screen, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the dislike button if you don't support the message. But I mean, any reaction is a good reaction. Trust me on this platform. So, unless someone's gonna jump up here real quick in the next 4 or 5 seconds, it's going to be in Kev We Trust, and goodbye.